It began with death. Not a war, not an empire's fall, but a whisper carried by rats and fleas. Between 1347 and 1351, a shadow swept across Europe, a plague so deadly that it erased half of the continent's people. The Black Death, a nightmare that changed not only Europe, but the course of human history itself. In the autumn of 1347, 12 trading ships docked at the Sicilian port of Messina. People rushed to greet them, but what they found was horror. The sailors were already dead, their bodies blackened, swollen with mysterious boils. Within days, the sickness spread like fire. No one knew what it was, a curse, a punishment, or the end of the world. From Italy, the plague rode along trade routes to France, England, Spain, and beyond. Merchants, soldiers, and even priests unknowingly carried it. Cities became tombs. In some towns, entire families died overnight. In others, the living abandoned the dead, too afraid to bury their own blood. First came the fever, then the swelling of the lymph nodes, called buboes. They grew to the size of apples, turning black with blood. Victims coughed, vomited, and bled from the mouth. Few survived beyond 3 days. The streets echoed with the cries of the dying and the prayers of the helpless. Medieval doctors were powerless. They blamed bad air, sinful hearts, or the movement of the planets. People whipped themselves in the streets, believing God was punishing mankind. Jews were accused of poisoning wells, leading to massacres across Europe. Fear had no boundaries. And yet, no one could stop what was coming next. Governments failed, churches emptied, farmers died, and fields turned to wilderness. In England alone, half the population vanished. Laborers who survived demanded higher pay. And for the first time, the power of the peasant began to rise. Feudalism, the system that had ruled Europe for centuries, began to crumble. The survivors lived in fear of touch, of air, of life itself. Art turned dark, obsessed with death and decay. Painters filled their works with skulls and shadows. Writers spoke of the dance of death, where all, rich and poor, met the same fate. The plague had stripped humanity bare, leaving behind a new kind of world. But from the ashes came change. People began to question the old ways. How could prayers fail so completely? How could medicine be so blind? The search for answers gave birth to curiosity, and curiosity to science. The age of faith slowly gave way to the age of reason. By 1351, the worst was over, but the world that remained was unrecognizable. Europe's population had fallen by nearly 50 million, and yet, in the emptiness, there was opportunity. New lands, new wages, new ideas. The Black Death had destroyed one world and planted the seeds of another. Every pandemic since has carried echoes of that ancient terror. It taught humanity its greatest lesson, that nature, in one breath, can humble kings and kingdoms alike. The Black Death ended the Middle Ages, and in its shadow, the modern world was born. If you like this video, then like and share. Your support is our inspiration.